You've been neglecting Chrisean Rock and Jaidyn Alexis if you really thought that, simply because they claim to have made peace, they would get together, embrace, and move on like some grown-up women because of their long-standing hostility. High school drama seems like child's play to these two women. This disagreement has been simmering and occasionally boiling for years, manifested in anything from full-fledged altercations on reality TV to angry outbursts on Instagram and taunting on Twitter. This never-ending story appears to have reached its next dramatic chapter, with Blueface in jail. One would think that things would calm down. But no, the drama has really gotten messier. It was Chrisean who struck the match this time. She shared information regarding Jaidyn's financial status online, claiming that she was struggling to provide for the two children she and Blueface have together. Jaidyn didn't take it easy, as was to be anticipated. In a matter of minutes, she was yelling obscenities at Chrisean and pulling him in every possible direction on the internet. This was more than just a reply. It was a full-fledged online dispute, to be honest. It could have been predicted by anyone who has been monitoring this toxic triangle. These women have never really set them aside, even though they disagree. If nothing else, they have been rehearsing it in the background while they wait for the next justification. This dispute has a long history. This is personal and goes beyond what is said online. Blueface has been surrounded for years by resentment, jealousy, and incessant comparison. Both women have been vying for the position of main chick for years, but Blueface seldom ever gives them credit. The most absurd aspect is that both ladies are pursuing him because they want to be the last in a love triangle. That should have ended long ago. Despite the fact that he has built his reputation on chaos, treachery, and power, Jaidyn says she has earned her position since high school. When Blueface was just Jonathan and not a rapper or TV personality, she has been there. She was there before the fame and the money, through the highs and lows. There are temptations associated with success as well, and soon the cheating began. The betrayal was not only private but also public. After that, there was the notorious reality show. Blueface successfully made his romantic life into a contest. So, who was the victor? Chrisean Rock is that person. Before Chrisean showed up, the situation had gone from chaotic to really terrible. Jaidyn felt jealous, frustrated, and perhaps even afraid just by being in her presence. Fear that a new person might someday eclipse years of devotion and loyalty. A voice that was booming, someone who was unpredictable, someone who didn't hesitate to express her ideas or toss her hands. Although Jaidyn made an effort to hide her discomfort, it was obvious that after receiving attention, especially from Blueface, Chrisean usually felt worse. However, Chrisean's announcement that she was expecting made matters more uncomfortable. Jaidyn had some authority because she was Blueface's only baby mama, a position she kept for a long time. Pride tainted by corruption. However, that changed after baby Junior was born suddenly. She was expected to share that duty. The situation was exacerbated by Blueface's displeasure that Chrisean kept the child. Jaidyn immediately jumped in and said she would have made the smart decision if it meant getting paid. For that remark alone, she was branded heartless, which angered many. However, she took advantage of the situation to portray herself as a mature one, the better option and the more responsible mother. When it appeared that things couldn't get any more complicated, Blueface abruptly got married to Chrisean. It was actually done while he was incarcerated in prison, yet doing havoc. Jaidyn was not only denied entry to the event, but she was not even informed. Consider it. You discover on the internet that someone you've been supporting and caring for years got married while incarcerated. Anybody would be blown away by that. Naturally, Jaidyn blew up. She took to social media to air all the resentments she had been harboring. She essentially destroyed any chance of harmony between them by accusing Chrisean of stealing the program and labeling Blueface a deadbeat. It was a reunion of love and hip-hop, but without the editors and cameras. The next twist, however, was the one that had everyone talking. Chrisean responded with an unusual display of maturity rather than her typical outburst of rage. Hillary's message was lengthy, composed, and reflective. In contrast to what we've come to expect from her, she talked about seeing how juvenile their feud had become, accepting responsibility for her mistakes, and betting on love. She also acknowledged that she now finds the turbulence just exhausting, whereas in her early 20s she found it humorous. She said the confrontations were exhausting and the diss tapes were dull, and that she was tired of competing for a man who wouldn't help her. She made a tiny compromise to Jaidyn because she could understand her pain, but she couldn't understand why their kids hadn't even met. Yet, it seemed like Chrisean was finally grasping the wider picture at that point. It's possible that she grew weary of playing the same dangerous games. But you were foolish if you thought Jaidyn would forget that. She said it was a show as soon as she realized the message was phony. She claimed that Chrisean was trying to influence stories that didn't affect her. and was behaving like a victim. At that moment, Chrisean's formerly composed demeanor slightly faltered. She clapped back, noting that Jaidyn's prompt response indicated that she had read the message. Zeus only handed Jaidyn $20,000 for the reunion special, she implied as she continued to provide behind-the-scenes information. She also hinted that she was letting envy distract her from her situation, and that she was drowning in debt. After going live, Chrisean Rock unleashed a full-fledged diatribe without holding back. Although she didn't specifically say Jaidyn at first, fans soon realized who she was referring to. "You're mad at me, but your pockets are mad at you," she said, sparking controversy online. Chrisean claimed that Jaidyn was only trying to appear tough on the internet because she was struggling behind the scenes. Chrisean says that rather than because Blueface isn't present, Jaidyn has been suing him for child support because she is impoverished and bitter. Chrisean claims that Jaidyn is jealous that Blueface has spent more time with her child, the child she shares with him, than he has with Jaidyn's children. She continued by saying, "You want child support because you can't afford the lifestyle you're pretending to have," which I quote, "I haven't actually asked for anything, yet Blue is still here. That is how you and I are different." Wow, a straight hit was delivered. How did she display it? Calculated, cool, and collected, not screaming, not crying, just the facts at least. In her mind, she understood exactly what to say to get her point across, whether or not it was accurate. As you are all aware, Jaidyn was not going to sit back and take it. She didn't jump on Liv personally, but she let her social media speak for her. Jaidyn posted a blunt comment on Twitter that read, "Broke. My property is what you rent. Keep an eye on what you say before I really let it out." She then posted a video clip from her song and said, "I stay booked, y'all stay pressed." Now, some fans took that to mean she was brushing the matter aside as though it didn't affect or disturb her. But others saw it for what it was, a pride-based defensive response because, let's be honest, if she didn't care, she wouldn't have said anything. And to be honest, with the kids watching and the fans absorbing it, this whole feud is starting to look like a vicious, public struggle for Blueface's attention. This is where things get pretty messy. Chrisean's motive, not just money, was the most damaging charge, according to her. Jaidyn doesn't actually require child support because she can take care of her kids. Instead, she is allegedly using money to keep her connection with Blueface intact, to make sure he doesn't give more to Chrisean than he does to her, or at the absolute least, to exert control over him. We know that Blueface has had financial difficulties in the past with lawsuits, label issues, and ongoing spending on parties, jewels, and entourages. His money management is questionable at best. If Jaidyn is going to court for child support, it's a good thing that she may be looking for long-term stability for her kids. Chrisean, however, believes that the competition is more significant than the kids. Blueface, she claims, is the reason Jaidyn is pressed. Jaidyn is being treated like an afterthought as people come and go from her life, you know. Fans started taking sides at this time. Some are standing up for Jaidyn, arguing that she has every right to request assistance, particularly given she is caring for two of Blueface's kids. At least Chrisean isn't suing Blueface, according to some, and she only criticizes him when he deserves it. Either way, there are differing views on the internet, and neither woman is giving up. This drama ended as soon as it appeared on blogs. People were describing this as one of her most collected outbursts yet, noting changes in tone and facial expressions, and when Chrisean isn't shouting, you can tell it's serious, because her remarks are cool, collected, and lethal. However, not everyone agrees with her, considering that Chrisean has a history of disorder. Some people are pointing out that she shouldn't be flinging stones while living in a glass home. The baby situation on her side isn't exactly a fairy tale, and she and Blueface have experienced their fair share of unpleasant moments. The hypocrisy and obvious double standards are evident. Louder still, there's more going on here than the back and forth, the child support turmoil, and the nastiness on the internet. We see two mothers navigating life with a man who obviously lives on drama, attention, and manipulation rather than just two women fighting. Both women are forced to compete for the few remaining crumbs of affection, loyalty, and financial support under the system that Blueface has established. They have been framed as enemies rather than cooperating or achieving peace. And regrettably, when men set women against one another and then watch the spectacle unfold, this is precisely what occurs. Ultimately, Jaidyn and Chrisean are both raising kids who will grow up to be get up and see these court cases, these tweets, these lives. And it's devastating because the children caught in the crossfire are the true victims. Even though the internet thrives on drama, from here, where do we go? So yet, neither woman has apologized in public or made an effort to make things right. Jaidyn is obviously preparing for her own comeback, whether it be through music, court victories, or simply more mysterious posts. While Chrisean appears happy to express her feelings to the public, however, this feud is far from ended. That much is certain, and things will only become messier unless someone chooses to be the greater person. What are your thoughts, then? Is Chrisean merely expressing her opinions, or is she avoiding her personal drama? Is Jaidyn battling for what's rightfully hers and her children's, or is she truly broke and resentful? Please share your opinions with me in the comments section below. But be courteous, we're not spreading hate, we're just spilling tea. To ensure you don't miss any updates, please hit the notification bell, like this video, and subscribe for more unfiltered celebrity drama. Till then, be careful, be untidy, and I'll see you all at the next one. She even implied that Blueface's choice to cut Jaidyn off had less to do with her, and more to do with establishing limits. At that point, the discussion shifted from being about feelings to seeming more like a public relations battle, to females attempting to win over admirers, demonstrate their value and change history. And truthfully, it was tiresome to observe.